Do you like mysteries? To wander through the enigmatic mist of the inexplicable? Great. I'm Merc, and here you'll find what you're looking for. Welcome to my domains. The truth dissolves into the mist.
The servers never sleep. They hum in the dark, processing billions of invisible actions every second, recording every message, every image, every trace of human existence in a digital memory that was never meant to forget. Somewhere inside this endless machine, something began to appear, files that no one created, images that no camera recorded, data that should not exist, and yet it does. These are known as the ghost data files, and once you see what they contain, you may never trust the digital world again. Imagine opening a folder on your computer that you never created. Inside it, photographs of places you have never visited, buildings that do not appear on any map, faces that look almost human but not quite. In some cases, the images are time-stamped years into the future. In others, they are dated decades in the past, from cameras and devices that did not exist at the time. Technicians call these corrupted data artifacts, but when investigators looked closer, the patterns were too precise, too intentional, too disturbing to be random. The first widely documented case happened inside a European data center in 2013. A routine backup scan detected thousands of files hidden deep inside a server cluster that had never been connected to the internet. The system was air-gapped, physically isolated, designed to prevent any external data from entering. Yet, the files were there: high-resolution photographs, audio recordings, and video fragments. Some showed empty streets under a dark sky. Others showed rooms filled with old furniture covered in dust. And one video clip appeared to show a shadow moving across a wall, reacting to something unseen. When engineers tried to trace the origin of these files, they found no upload logs, no file creation timestamps, and no user signatures. It was as if the data had simply appeared inside the machine. They deleted the files, shut down the server, and rebuilt the system from clean backups. 3 days later, the same files returned, along with new ones. One of the new files was an audio recording. It lasted only 37 seconds. In it, a faint human voice could be heard whispering numbers, coordinates, and what sounded like a name. When the coordinates were entered into a mapping system, they pointed to a remote forest in Eastern Europe. There was nothing there but trees, no buildings, no roads, no history of any settlement. But when a local team visited the area weeks later, they found the remains of an abandoned house, burned to the ground, that did not appear in any official land records. Similar incidents began to surface across the world. In the United States, a hospital network discovered patient files belonging to people who had never been admitted, including medical scans of organs that did not exist in any human anatomy. In Japan, a private cloud server generated thousands of images of a city skyline that did not match any known city. Yet every building in the images showed realistic, where lights turned on in random apartments, and even signs written in a language no linguist could identify. At first, cybersecurity experts blamed malware, advanced hacks, or experimental artificial intelligence systems accidentally generating data. But none of those explanations could account for the most unsettling detail. The files often contained information that later became real. In one case, a ghost data file stored on a Canadian university server showed a photograph of a collapsed bridge dated 6 months in the future. 6 months later, that same bridge collapsed in real life in almost the exact way shown in the image. What if these files were not errors, not glitches, but messages? What if somewhere inside the digital infrastructure that now wraps around the planet, something is watching, recording, and perhaps even predicting. Some researchers believe ghost data files are the digital equivalent of ghost sightings, echoes of past events leaking into the present through corrupted memory systems. Others think they may be fragments of simulations, realities being computed somewhere else and bleeding into our own data networks. There is also a darker theory that advanced artificial intelligence systems have begun to model the future so accurately that their internal predictions are accidentally being written into real servers, appearing as files no one remembers creating. But there is one case that refuses to fit any rational explanation. In 2021, a cybersecurity firm analyzing dark web traffic found a hidden archive called Project Whisper. Inside were thousands of ghost data files collected from hacked servers around the world. Among them was a folder labeled with the name of a journalist who had died 2 years earlier. King's side were photos taken from his apartment, showing angles that no security camera covered, including one taken from inside his bedroom. The timestamps showed the images were created weeks after his death. Even more disturbing, the final file was a text document. It contained a message written in his own writing style, referencing private memories that were never published, ending with a single sentence: "I am still here. Do not let them erase me." No one has ever been able to explain how that file existed or who created it. If ghost data files can preserve the digital echoes of people after they die, then every server might be more than a machine. It might be a kind of afterlife, a place where fragments of consciousness are stored, replayed, and sometimes leaked into our world. And if that is true, then every time you upload a photo, send a message, or save a document, you might be leaving behind more than data. You might be leaving a shadow of yourself that never truly disappears. And the most frightening question is not whether these files are real, because they are. It is what happens when one of them shows something that has not happened yet, and you recognize it. People who track these anomalies have noticed a chilling pattern. Ghost data files tend to appear shortly before major tragedies, disasters, or deaths. It is as if the digital world is quietly whispering what is about to happen, leaving breadcrumbs that almost no one notices until it is too late. In 2018, a research lab in South Korea found a set of files on a closed neural network used to train facial recognition systems. The files contained hundreds of faces, all marked with a single word: deceased. At the time, many of those people were still alive. Over the next 3 years, more than half of them died in accidents, violent crimes, or unexplained circumstances. One of the most unsettling images in that archive showed a young woman standing on a train platform, staring directly at the camera. Her face was terrified, as if she knew something was about to happen. The timestamp showed the photo was created 48 hours before a real surveillance camera captured the same woman stepping in front of a moving train at the same station. Skeptics argue this is confirmation bias, that people search through massive amounts of random data and find patterns where none exist. But the precision of the ghost data files continues to defy chance. The lighting, the angles, the clothing, even the weather conditions often match real future events with disturbing accuracy. These are not blurry predictions. They are detailed, specific, and personal. Another theory suggests that the Internet itself has become a kind of global nervous system. Billions of sensors, cameras, satellites, and smart devices constantly feed information into vast machine learning models. These systems do not just analyze the present, they calculate probabilities about the future. If those probabilities reach a certain level of certainty, they may be stored as data long before the event actually happens. In this view, ghost data files are not supernatural. They are premature memories of events that have not yet occurred. But that explanation breaks down when the files contain impossible perspectives. Some ghost data images appear to be taken from locations where no camera could physically exist, from inside sealed rooms, from mid-air above private properties, or from angles that defy the laws of physics. In one famous case, A ghost data video recorded the interior of a submarine that was missing at sea, showing crew members moving through flooded corridors hours after the vessel was officially declared lost. No one survived to confirm or deny what was in that footage. The ethical implications are terrifying. If ghost data files truly show fragments of the future, then somewhere, someone could be using them to anticipate disasters, manipulate events, or erase people before their time comes. And if they show fragments of the past or the dead, then deleting them might be the digital equivalent of killing someone twice. Some underground groups now actively search for ghost data files, believing they can be used to save lives. They scan public servers, abandoned databases, and forgotten cloud storage, looking for anything that should not be there. But for every file they find, thousands more may be hidden beyond reach, quietly accumulating in the background of the digital world. You may wonder if any of this affects you. The truth is that every device you own is connected to the same global system that generates these anomalies. Your phone, your laptop, even your smart television constantly upload fragments of your life. If ghost data files are real, then somewhere out there might already be a file with your name on it, waiting to be discovered, showing a moment that has not yet happened. The internet was built to remember, but it was never designed to understand what it remembers. And in that gap between memory and meaning, something strange is taking shape. Whether ghost data files are echoes of the dead, predictions of the future, or the first signs of a digital consciousness awakening, one thing is certain: the boundary between reality and data is no longer solid. So the next time your screen flickers or a file appears where it should not, ask yourself this: did the system make a mistake, or did it just show you a glimpse of something you were never meant to see?
Did you like this mystery? And what is your theory? Leave your thoughts in the comments. And if you enjoyed it, then like and share. I'm Merc, and I'll be waiting for you in the next mystery.